Hey, it's been a little while. Sorry, we've been working on productions for creating new Life in Bloom episodes for you, and also for creating things that are going to be on UBloom. So we had a big production in the studio for a week, and just gearing up, getting all the flowers in, and getting everybody together, all the props, all that stuff. It just takes a lot of time. So sorry about that. So we haven't been doing the weekly stuff here for a little while, but it's time to get back into it. And today was the first day that I could go out into the garden and really harvest a bucket of flowers for arranging flowers. And I thought, what a great thing for us to be able to make together. So that's what we're here today to do. And we're going to make two arrangements. We're going to make one in this video, and then I have another video, I'll make a second one. So we'll do that. And so we're going to start with this big vase. This is one of my favorites. I filled it with ice cold water. And I've also got two of my CBBN tablets in there. Okay, so I put two CBBN tablets, and this guy holds about a little over a liter of water. So I put in one pump, and I use a little bit extra of my Chrysler Professional 3. And the great thing about the CBBN tablets is they're going to help reduce bacteria levels that are going to form in the water. And I think that that's really important for us to think about. So that's just something that we want to do. And hopefully you've got your favorite beverage. You've got some stuff. I have some really exciting stuff that's starting to bloom in the garden, and I'm so excited about that because the garden looks amazing this year. I'm working on a little bit of technology and trying to figure out how to bring it to you where I'm going to be able to go out into the garden and show you some stuff. So I've been working with my friend David Clark. He got me inspired to get this new technology. So I'm trying to work it out. So we'll figure out how that goes. Today we are using our 2 dram tools. We're using our dram bypass cutter, and we are using our dram compact pruner to make our arrangement. I like this vase because it flares out. We've talked about smart vases before where the net goes in, and then it helps us, it helps a few flowers look better. This, we're going to have a few more flowers, and I want to expand it out a little bit. And really the reason that I chose this vase is because of one of the foliages that we're going to use. And we know that one of the first things that we do is use foliage first. And so when I was cutting, I was out in the garden, and I was looking for some stuff that I was going to be able to work with. And I'm also doing a test on this guy. This guy's going to make it into our second arrangement. I just want you to show him. It's a blue salvia, and it's a really pretty blue color. But he was over here in this. So I just wanted to show him to you for half a second. I'm checking him to see if he's going to be a good flower for using in arrangements. And I think that that could be fun. So we are going to start with our foliage. And the foliage that we're going to use in this bouquet that inspired it is 9-bark. And my 9-bark is blooming right now, which is so beautiful, right? So we have that. And then I also, I have some, I got some pretty little lavender plants that are going into the garden. And when I was working on that, this guy got damaged and got broken off. And so it's beautiful lavender. And we're going to use a little bit of that as well in here. That's why I put in my CBBN tablet, was for that lavender, because that lavender can get kind of a little wonky in the water, makes the water be a little bit more, gets a little bit of bacteria going. But look at these pieces of 9-bark in here. And I just thought, oh, those are going to be pretty because they're just going to kind of swoop off to the sides like that with all of their pretty little blooms on them. And they're going to go into the corners of this arrangement pretty easily. And so there, oh, I got to take off a little bit more. We don't want anything that's going to fall below the water line. That will be tough. And we'll create some bacteria for us as well. So now I'm going to take a couple of these pieces off of here and save those for the second project that we'll do from the garden today in another video. Sorry, just so you're aware. And I'm just going to trim this guy up. He's got a little bit of wind on there. It's really hard on the lavender to try and be out in the wintertime. I have an area, we're doing a project you're going to be able to see on Life in Bloom Season 4. We're putting in a berm in the front yard to help with erosion because I have an erosion issue that happens with with all the water in the front yard wants to come racing down the pathway and always causing some problems. And it erodes away, and then Kel and I have to go out there with shovels on a Sunday morning, typically after a big rain, and try and shovel everything back in place and fill in everything, and everything's all slid down to the bottom, and it just gets wild. So I'm really working on it, and I want to fix it. And so we determined that a berm would be great. So we're putting in that berm, and then we're also going to put in some windbreaks with some arborvitae so that we have some windbreaks for the winter, because I have an area where it doesn't matter really what I plant in there. This guy did okay there, but he had a lot of winter damage on him. It's just too cold in the wintertime. So I'm gonna put those arborvitaes in there, and then I'm gonna wrap those arborvitaes in burlap, and so then that's gonna create a nice windbreak in the wintertime for whatever's in that area. Because I put in perennials every year, and when I put in the perennials, then they do great the first summer, and then by the time winter comes and goes, they're dead and they don't do well. So I'm just trying to figure that out. So it's good. So then let's see inside here what we are going to do. So I was very, very excited about this as well. I've got some hostas that are, my hostas look incredible this year. And so these hosta leaves have a beautiful yellow edge on them. Look at that yellow edge that's on there. So pretty. And that is going to be a little predecessor for the flower that's going to be so important in this arrangement. I'll wait a little bit and tell you about that in just a minute or two. So let's see, what else do I have in here that's going to be really pretty? So my, I have geranium out there that look like this. And actually, you know what? Because I'm going to use that geranium in this, I'm going to use this salvia. So I planted a couple buckets of this. My friend Craig got it for me, and I really like it. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful flower and foliage, and it's a hummingbird attractor. So we get the hummers are back, and the hummers are doing so well in the garden. I'm so excited to see them. And so I wanted to see if this is a good cut flower. And so far, so good. I cut these early this morning, because that's when we go into the garden and we cut is early in the morning to get things. And because the sprinkler runs at about 3 a.m. And once the sprinkler has run, then everything is all hydrated. Everybody's good. We're supposed to hit 90 here by the weekend. So I don't want to go out at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and pick flowers, because they're all dehydrated from the sun. And so I want to pick them early in the morning when they're all hydrated, when they're supple, when they're turgid, like a fresh head of lettuce. And so I went out and picked those this morning, and now I'm going to put these in here. So we have some of my geranium, my hardy geranium. Look at that. It's a blue flower. Yeah, it doesn't look very blue on there, sorry. But it's a light blue, so it gets washed out with light. But I love that hardy geranium. And it's a great foliage, and it's also a great flower. So we've got a little bit of that in there. Then we will, I think I'm going to add a couple of these. So we have forget-me-nots are coming up as one of the flowers, featured flower in Life in Bloom. These are not forget-me-nots. However, their flowers look like forget-me-nots. But this is a fabulous, and I'm not going to be able to remember the name of it. I'm so sorry. So, but they look like forget-me-nots. Flowers are all gone for this year. And these heart-shaped variegated leaves get to be about this big. And so they're a great foliage. They got a little bit of petals of geraniums on them. So that's kind of cool. Yay, good for them. And let's see. Oh, this was fun. I saw this today. So my allium are almost done, my allium gigantum. And they're starting to get green, little green things on the little green features on them, so they look really, really nice. And I'm just going to slip one of those down inside here, because it looks like a pod, and it's going to be great. Lasts a long time. It's going to be fun inside there. Let's see, what else do we have in here? I had an iris. Okay, so listen, my guys who cut my lawn are really nice, but they keep hitting my iris and knocking my iris down when they're doing the edging, and so they're going to have to stop that. But this guy, he's actually blue at the top and then tannish brown on the pieces that come down that have the beard on them. So I thought that was very pretty and fun in there as well. And then I grabbed some of these, which are chive blossoms. Look at how pretty those are, right? Those chive blossoms are just going to be amazing. And so when you cut these, they smell like onions because they're alliums as well. And they are not Allium gigantum. They are Allium chives. I was going to say Allium tinerium for being tiny. I don't know if that's a real word or not. So there's that. But I thought that they were really pretty flowers right now. We just did and released on uBloom a project where we took the chive blossoms and we infused them into vinegar to make a chive vinegar. And it's the prettiest vinegar in the whole world. It's just beautiful. Looks great. And so I thought that was really fun. And so we did that. You could probably also do it as a infusion for vodka if you wanted like an onion flavored vodka. That could be interesting for like a Bloody Mary or something like that. That could be very fun. These are the blooms. It is not Queen Anne's lace yet, but it looks like Queen Anne's lace, right? It looks like Queen Anne's lace. But it is from my Snow on the Mountain. Now, I've heard some people have said that they have allergic reactions to Snow on the Mountain and that they can react to it the same way kind of that they react to poison ivy. They do have leaves of 3, which I think is interesting. They have a collection of 3 leaves down in there. But I don't have that reaction to them. However, whenever I harvest it, I then go in and I wash with my poison ivy soap. And I love my poison ivy soap because if I do get into poison ivy, last year we had some poison ivy in the garden and we had to be careful of getting it out and digging it out. And I would always use the poison ivy soap, which is something that I get online. And you wash the poison ivy soap and then you don't have a reaction to the poison ivy. I don't know. I think it has high lye content. I think that's what makes that happen and work. I don't know. So, yeah, there's that. So let's see if there's anything else. Oh, I have a few more chive blossoms in here. I best use those. So there used to be a thing about allium and chives because people would say that the stems, you know, when you had the stems in the flower shop, that it made it smell like onions. And so they claimed that if you cut your chive blossoms while underwater in mouthwash, put like diluted mouthwash, Listerine and stuff, then they wouldn't smell like onions, which I guess if that's important, you would do that. I don't know. But I think it's fun because I like that they smell a little bit like onions. I think that's kind of fun and kind of pretty, right? So I think we have a pretty little bouquet going on here. I think it's going to be really nice. And so now I cut these this morning because they just came into bloom this morning. And because I've had them in the cool inside here, they're not open right now. But these are yellow peonies. Oh, they don't look very yellow. They look white because of the bright lights. Sorry, but these are yellow peonies. It is my favorite time of year when the yellow peonies come into bloom. They are so beautiful and so exciting, and I love them. And here are the first 2, and I thought we would use them in this arrangement, and it would be just stunning, right? So there it is, and it picks up the yellow of our hosta leaves. It's accented wonderfully with the purples and blues that we have in this arrangement. I just think it's really pretty, and it's a wonderful way for us to start off an arrangement from the garden. And those are going to open and close. The peonies are going to open and close. Again, I wanted to cut them before they got distressed from any of the heat. Very, very important. I am going to coat my arrangement with my Chrysler Professional Glory. It's going to make my peonies and everything else last longer. My little iris that are going to open up inside there are going to be beautiful too. Mark Bloom and lace for my Snow on the Mountain. Perfect. Look at how fun that is. A pretty little arrangement. And it goes together fun, easy, fast. And we've got something pretty for flower cocktail hour because it's just about time for flower cocktail hour today anyway. And we'll set this on the table outside. Kel and I will get together. We'll have a flower cocktail and we'll talk about our day and see how everything went. But I thought it was fun to share this with you. So I've got a few other flowers back here to create a second arrangement. So that will be part 2 of this. We'll premiere this one, and then we'll premiere the second one as well. So I hope you enjoyed it. I missed you all. I missed all of you who tune in every day, Yolanda and Claudia and Shalini and all the great people who tune in. I'm sorry I've been absent for a week or so, maybe longer, getting that stuff done for you for other times. Okay. So anyway, I hope everybody's good, and we'll talk to you soon. Keep having fun with flowers.